Welcome to our channel, $1 Million Made Easy. On this channel, we love to run numbers for people. Got a question. What is sequence of returns risk? What does that mean? We often hear that phrase. And why was Dave Ramsey seemingly unaware of this phenomenon? Sequence of returns risk is when you first retire and you have some down years, consistent down years right from the very beginning. For example, on the screen before you, you see, say somebody was retired with $1.2 million and he had started out retired in the year 2000 and he had 3 down years. Now let's go ahead and do what Dave Ramsey recommended. He says because you're getting an average of 12% on the stock market, you can take out 8%, give yourself a 4% COLA and never run out of money. In fact, never even touch the principal. So what I want to show you is his rule. 12, $1.2 million. And if we take out 8,000 a month, this is the withdrawal percentage right here. And I want you to notice what would happen if you would have done that in the year 2000, these first 3 down years. Again, it's the sequence of returns. When these returns go against you initially the first few years of retirement, you start out with 3 down years and this 1.2 million is going to get knocked down so fast that when the market finally does come back here and you're still taking out this 8%, your money's not going to last. You can see it here running out in basically 9 years with an 8% withdrawal. You say, well, that's just those years. Yes, but that's what we're talking about. Look how recently this happened. This happened in the last 25 years. Now, if you would have just gone a few years earlier, like 1995, then your money would last. This is the breakdown, by the way, of how much you would have left after 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And I'm going to update this for every single year. And you're going to see how many times you would have problems with this 8% rule. That's what we're talking about. Dave Ramsey said, you're getting 12%, you can take out 8%, even allowing for a 4% inflation, you'll never run out of money. But that's just not true because returns don't go like that. Returns don't look like that. Look at this, folks. 33% of the time you'd run out of money in 20 years. This is the breakdown, right, going down through here, especially during the Depression years. And we could go down through here. We already saw what the year 2000 was like right here. Right here, you'd run out of money. 1999, you'd be running out of money 11 years. 1998, 14 years. 1997, 19 years. And 1996, you wouldn't be running out of money. So you had some good years before you got hit with those. But when these negative returns, if they happen, start right when you first retire, you can run out of money, as we've seen in in the year 2000. 2001, you had 2 down years. You run out of money in 10 years. Again, it depends on what's happening those initial years. You'd be running out of money in 13 years in this case because you start out with a down year. And you start out in 2003, no problem. But that's what sequence of returns risk is. Now, some people would say, no, you don't take 8% of the beginning balance and keep carrying that through. Dave Ramsey meant you take 8% of the remaining balance. Well, let's do that. Let's do that 8% remaining balance. And let's do, again, year 2000. This is the remaining balance. This is what you were planning on retiring on, 8,000 a month. That's 8% of this amount. We could use any amount. If we did 600,000, this would be half of that, but it'd still be 8%. Look you'd be planning on retiring at 8,000 a month, and by the time you went through this 3 down years, you'd be only be able to withdraw 3,714 a month. People say, well, I could live on that. Well, let's actually do the numbers. I'll just show you what I'm talking about here. Because it's ratios we're talking about. It's 8% of whatever you start with. So we're going to do 8% of 600,000. There it is, 8% right there. And look what happens, folks. After 3 down years, if you would have retired in the year 2000, you would only be able to withdraw 1,857 a month when you were planning on 4,000 a month, going up by 3% a year. So you would be down to only being able to withdraw 22,000 a year when you were planning on 48,000, increasing by inflation. Yeah, your money would last because you always have 92% of what was left because you're only taking out 8%. But look how low you'd get. All these years you're planning on 4,000 a month, and these are the amounts you'd have. This is if you had these initial 3 down years. That's called. What order did these down markets come? Because we always have down markets. Not very many, but that's what happens. Here are the actual returns for the last 100 years. We were looking at this right here, 3 down years. If you start out in 1973, 74 with 2 down years, you could run into problems, but especially during the Depression years. But I wanted to run the year 2000 because that happened just recently. And if you take out 8%, you will run out of money. As you can see right here, depending on what happens those initial years, that's the sequence that these returns happen in. That's what I wanted to cover on this video is you can't just take 8% out. Because here's what Dave was doing. He was actually setting the rate at 12%. Let's see. He just said you average 12%. Well, if you average 12% a year, yeah, you could easily take out 8% a year and never run out of money. Why? Because you're getting 12%, you're only taking out 8%. If you got 12% every single year, yes, you wouldn't have any problem. You wouldn't have these reds over here. It'd just be going up no matter what year I pick because you're getting the same return every year. It doesn't matter what the stock market's doing. That's not living in the real world. But again, I just wanted to cover this just because people still are one shaking their head saying, Dave, don't you know about sequence of returns risk? But again, that's what we do in this channel. We love running numbers for people. If you want me to run numbers for you, this is the criteria I need from you. If you're in the accumulation stage, just give me these 4 criteria. If you're in the withdrawal stage, give me these 4 criteria. We didn't take into account anything other than just the sequence of returns risk on this video. I've got almost 600 videos explaining lots of this stuff, running people's numbers, and that's what we love to do. Please consider subscribing to this channel, sharing, letting people know there's a channel like this that will run numbers for people. And thanks for watching.